So here's TR back working on the deck again today, and what we're doing now is I'm spraying this deck with some OxyClean mixed with water. I put 2 scoops of OxyClean in about a gallon and a half of water, and we're just putting it on the deck here. It must be doing something. It sure is foaming a lot, which usually means it's probably oxidizing, and that's what we're asking it to do, is oxidize this deck and make it a little brighter. The first wash, sorry, unplug here. The first washing, it turned out really okay. So this is just a little bit of insurance to make sure that it gets good and clean. So all I'm doing is just really saturating this deck good. You can see, as soon as you put it on, it foams. So hopefully it's doing something.
How's that doing? Oh yeah.
It's doing pretty good, I think.
It is doing something.
I think there was also stain on it, because if you look at all the knots,
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that too.
right? I'll put this on camera. So here's my faithful helper, Zach, back to help me with this pressure washing. We were just talking about this, and I think there must have been a stain on here,
Yeah.
because if you look at the knots, you know, they're all kind of white.
Right.
And so I think they were holding on to the stain better, but it seems to be washing off over there pretty good.
It's
The
getting
oxide
rid of
clean
it.
on it. You know?
Yeah, I think it's probably taken off just a little bit of that top layer too, so it's
Yeah,
showing the healthier wood underneath.
and that's pretty good too. So anyway, I'll let you at it.
Right on.
So hey, it's TR. I'm just continuing to work on the deck here. I've started staining. I waited 2 days after we did the last pressure washing to make sure the wood was good and dried out. And it's good and dried out. It's sucking the stain right up. I just went with some Bear Premium. It says it's water fast in 4 hours, not expecting any rain today. So I think we're in good shape. And I'm just getting this on here any way I can. And this is a semi-transparent stain. I wanted some of the wood grain and the patterning in the wood to show through. Yeah, I don't think there's any special technique you need to use to put stain on a deck like this. You know, I probably could have sanded it, and I might do that next year, we'll see. But for now, I just wanted to get it nice and sealed up so that it's protected from the weather for the next 6 months at least. And not lose all the hard work that Zach and Tiff and I put into getting this deck clean. So at the time of this recording, it's spring. Yeah, spring has sprung. So I just want to stop and say thanks to Zach and Tiff for giving me a hand getting the house and the deck all kind of cleaned up. It was really helpful to have them here. They visited for a couple of days. I guess it was the end of last September, and here it is March. And you know, the deck, the stain held up pretty good. You know, I'm okay. I'm not overly impressed, but it did well. But there's bigger problems with the deck that are going to have to be resolved, and so I got a feeling that the deck's going to have to come off the house. The main problem is that the sill board here against the house is rotten. As far as I can tell, they didn't use pressure treated lumber when they built this, and so everything that's touching the ground is rotten, and there's quite a bit of trouble underneath. Let me show you. So over in this corner, there's a huge problem in that this is a real low spot. And in fact, it looks like everything kind of drains here. And that's pretty much the way it worked last winter. But the biggest problem is this. You can see here where this lumber, this is the supports, 2x8s and 2x6s here and there. In fact, if we look underneath, you can see there's the occasional 2x8. But it's mostly supported on 2x6s that are touching the ground, and it looks like a lot of them are kind of rotten. So there's no way this deck meets code. There's one other problem too, and that is this handrail right here. By code needs to be 36 inches tall, which is about my hip, and you can see here it's way short. So it's looking to me like it's probably going to be easier to just rip this deck off and replace it, or maybe replace the patio, because the last problem is privacy. When you're up here on the deck, you really have no privacy. So if we look around over here, you can see my neighbor over here, and then you can see into all these backyards and into that backyard. So up this high, there's just not a lot of privacy. So I think the decision is going to be to take this deck off. The jury's still out. I'm still thinking about it. I still have to tear this abomination off first. I'm going to do that before I tear into the deck. And as you can see over here, I got a little landscaping project going on here. Previously, these bricks came in here and then made kind of an inverted loop into this corner over here. The problem was there's a little teeny strip of grass in there, and it was just never going to grow because it's sitting underneath this huge tree. So I guess I got a little spring fever and decided to start working on a few things outside here real quick before I start to tear into some of the bigger problems, the bigger projects. But for now, until we get a few things taken care of, that's going to be the end of the home improvement project series. But I am going to start a new series of live streams again on Tuesday nights. This time it'll be at 6 p.m. Mountain, where I'm going to be live streaming, answering your questions about RVing. That's my other forte, is RVing, and I've had a lot of requests to do that kind of content, so I'm going to go ahead and start that up. Anyway, we're going to call it good. If you like what you saw, give me that thumbs up. Those are always appreciated. If you're not subscribed, be sure and subscribe. Lots of great content still to come. Your support of my Amazon store is greatly appreciated. Remember, I get a small commission, but you pay the same price, and every little bit helps support the channel. For now, it's time to go. Thanks for watching. I sure do appreciate it. Until we get together again, peace.